What a great time to be a horror fan with Halloween right around the corner. It seems that every year we're treated to a constant stream of great horror films, but how can you be sure which ones are worth checking out? Well, we got you covered. Welcome to the Daily Gram. I'm Adrian, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 underrated horror movies that are sure to keep your adrenaline pumping. Let's get started. On this list, let's take a look at horror films that somehow slipped through the cracks and had viewers missing out on such great pieces of horror. Whether it was due to having a small production, or being critically panned by critics, or just being overshadowed by a more mainstream flick, these movies deserve more than the audience they got. There's no excuse to keep sleeping on these horrifically underrated movies. Number 10. Last Shift.
You are the lucky rookie to work the very last shift in this mausoleum.
We all have our fair share of horrible first day on the job stories, but none can match this rookie cop's terrifying first night on the job.
I really have to do this now. I'm literally about to start my first shifts.
Set in a precinct that's about to be closed down, police officer Jessica Lauren is assigned to take the last shift in what appears to be an ordinary police station. Little did she know that there's an evil presence inside that is hell-bent on tormenting her. This movie makes great use of tense and suspenseful moments that build into a series of satisfying payoffs. Let's not forget about the jump scares and spine-chilling scenes that will make you sit on the edge of your seat. This movie will linger with you long after the credits roll.
I swear, all my life, I'm not f***ing with you.
Number 9. Green Room. Have you seen something that you wished you could unsee?
Oh shit.
You call the cops.
Fuck that.
This unbearably tension-filled thriller from Jeremy Saulnier is about a punk band witnessing something they shouldn't have seen while performing at a neo-Nazi skinhead bar. Consequently, they were held hostage by the club's depraved owner, played by a terrifically horrifying Patrick Stewart.
Things have gone south. It won't end well.
This film blends psychological horror with a miserable atmosphere and elevates it beyond its simple premise. Chock full of gore and ultra-violent scenes, this ruthless piece of horror cinema deserves to be seen and appreciated by horror fanatics around the globe. If you like your horror films with a dash of brutal realism, then this one is definitely for you. Number 8. The Taking of Deborah Logan. If you think found footage films are boring and unexciting, this next film will make you change your mind.
Ma! They want to make a movie about me.
Yes. Sarah mentioned that Deb's been sleepwalking pretty bad, so let's set up surveillance cams.
A group of filmmakers set out to make a documentary about Deborah Logan, who is in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease. However, she exhibits increasingly disturbing and erratic behavior that suggests that there is something more ominous at play.
It was all quite a fright with your late-night gardening.
This is not normal sleepwalking. You should come see this. It's not good, Doc.
This movie superbly intertwines its supernatural plotline with realistic human drama, with the possession being used as a tool to symbolize the pain and impact that a disease like Alzheimer's can cause. The horror genre has seen such a massive outpour of found footage films in recent years that it's easy to dismiss a lot of them as generic and uninspired material. But make no mistake, The Taking of Deborah Logan cements itself among the best of them. Number 7. Possum. In this British horror gem, trauma and abuse play a huge part in its central character's background. A disgraced puppeteer returns to his childhood home only to be confronted by his troubled past. His trauma is manifested in his most monstrous creation, a spider-legged puppet with a human-like face. This film's horrific themes and eerie atmosphere stands as a testament to the horror genre's capability to unsettle and affect audiences. It's a deeply unnerving movie that evokes feelings of dread and terror. Take one look at Possum and you'll have nightmares for days. A perfect addition to your yearly Halloween movie watch list. Number 6. Under the Shadow. Under the Shadow is an intimate family drama disguised as a horror movie. After their building was hit by a missile during the Iran-Iraq War, a mother and daughter find themselves haunted by an evil spirit drawn to fear and anxiety. This thought-provoking movie perfectly strikes the balance in showing the parallels between the horrors of war and supernatural phenomena. Horror movies with socio-political subtext and timely themes are usually a hit or miss. But this Iranian horror film is definitely a hit. Number 5. Terrifier.
What if that guy did this to your car?
What guy? The clown?
On the surface, Terrifier looks like a generic slasher. But upon watching it, you'd be surprisingly treated to one of the most unrestrained and graphic displays of violence ever committed on film. It follows the exploits of a modern horror icon in Art the Clown, as he terrorizes innocent victims and gruesomely murders them without remorse. Yikes. This gory 80s throwback slasher is easy to dismiss as repetitive, inferior material, but what it lacks in subtext, it makes up for with its over-the-top violence and unapologetic commitment to its premise.
Till the police arrive.
Number 4. The Invitation.
I'm so glad you're here. We've got a lot to talk about. So much to celebrate tonight.
We are all familiar with the dinner party gone wrong subgenre, but The Invitation brings something fresh to the table. It starts off with Will, played by Logan Marshall Green, attending a dinner party hosted by his ex-wife at her home with her new husband. What follows is a series of twists and turns as the web of suspicion and paranoia unravels.
You've been acting so suspicious of our hospitality.
The idea of having dinner with your ex and her new husband is frightening enough, but this movie just won't ease up. The intense atmosphere and gripping storyline will surely have you glued to your seat. Number 3. The Blackcoat's Daughter. If slow burn psychological horrors are your thing, look no further. The Blackcoat's Daughter is about two girls left alone in a boarding school when their parents mysteriously fail to pick them up for winter break.
Hey, Dad is calling to see where you and Mom are, if you're coming.
The movie suspensefully builds up to its climax when one of the girls are plagued by horrific visions as they slowly submit to the unseen evil around them. This surreal masterpiece, directed by Osgood Perkins, starring Emma Roberts, redefines fear as something that isn't seen, but rather felt. This movie is light in jump scares, but is surely filled with thrills that'll make your spine tingle during those late nights where you just can't sleep. Number 2. The Autopsy of Jane Doe. One fateful night on the job, a father and son team of coroners are presented with the task of conducting an autopsy on an unidentified woman. As they try to find out her cause of death, her backstory reveals itself with disturbing and sinister results. From director Andre Averdal comes this murder mystery mixed with supernatural elements that displays a masterclass in tension building. The pitch-perfect pacing mixed with intelligent writing, there is no shortage of thrills in this grisly horror feature. Before we reveal our top pick, here are some honorable mentions that are also guaranteed to scare the living daylights out of you, or just make you piss your pants.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
The Ritual.
Been gutted. Could be hunters out here. It's a warning.
We shouldn't be here.
A Dark Song.
How do we know that it started?
Starry Eyes.
I'm your girl. I will do whatever it takes for this role.
Number 1. The Void.
Have you ever wished to save someone? Beyond saving? No matter what the cost? This is uncharted territory.
Another throwback to 80s horror, this tale of cosmic dread wears its Lovecraftian influences on its sleeve. When a police officer finds an injured man on the side of the road, he takes him to a hospital with only a skeleton crew for the night. While there, members of a violent cult surround the hospital, and those inside are left to fight for their survival. The cinematography as well as the practical effects of this movie are breathtaking. Its nightmarish imagery and foreboding atmosphere make it an impressive debut film from directors Steven Kostanski and Jeremy Gillespie. The ambiguous nature of its story adds another layer of intrigue to its already captivating premise. This is one movie you wouldn't want to avoid.
Do you know where you go when you die? I do.
Do you agree with our picks? Let us know what movies should have made this list in the comments below. Be sure to check out these other videos on Daily Gram, and make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you can keep up with our latest videos.